Talk about TDCF stock. Jeremy.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Long Dong Personal Truck Stop in this grifty live stream, and we have about an hour and a half. I may close it sooner than that. We'll see. You have the opportunity to super chat me $10 or Venmo me $9. That actually saves you money using Venmo. And if you Venmo me $9 or if you super chat me $10, I'll cover whatever stock, ETF, crypto, or even general topic, whatever you want me to talk about. As long as it's not massively inappropriate clownishness, I will cover on this live stream. So yes, go on YouTube, super chat me $10 or Venmo me $9. See the pinned comment, and I'll cover whatever you want me to cover. So let's go ahead and get this stream on the roll. Let's go ahead and get this started. I just went to work today. That's right. I'm still in the wage cage. I'm still trying to stack that cheddar from my job so I can build up that beautiful, delicious, superstitious, delicious treasuries and VT power combo, because soon I will be self-employed. Now somebody says, would you cover Ape Father? Yes, I would, for a $10 super chat or $9 Venmo. But yes, I am back from the wage cage. I also went to the gym and I lifted weights. I got freaking stacked. I got huge. Baby, I got so freaking huge. Ate some dinner, and now I'm sitting here, and then I got to have a phone call with somebody at 8 o'clock Eastern. So, because of that, this stream cannot go on forever, but we will make of it what we can. Oh, God, excuse me. I still have a freaking cough from my kid. I always get sick. If you have kids, you're going to get sick all the time. All right, let's do some member-only comments while we're hanging out. Even if I don't get any super chats or Venmos, it's whatever. We're here to have a good time. What else am I going to do tonight? Play a video game, watch Netflix like a loser. I've been on a lot of dates, though. Oh, my God. So I went out Friday with my friends, and then I went on a date on Saturday, and then I went on another date last night. I don't have one tonight. I have 2 scheduled for tomorrow. I've got one on Wednesday. Probably going to hang out with my friend on Thursday. And then Friday, I'm driving up somewhere else to do Halloween. So I'm just a busy freaking boy, okay? I am out of control. Oh, we got a gift here. We got a gift. Mr. Major General Tao, one of my favorite fans. I have talked to this man on the phone. He has a very seductive voice. Gifted a membership, and I will cover, if you since you've been so generous to the channel, if you want me to cover a topic, let me know. But I appreciate the gifted membership. Some lucky clown on YouTube got a membership. All right, let me do steps. So I saw a super chat. I mean, steps. I'll do your comment, and then we'll get down to the the first super chat. I lied. I won't quit on Strongman's membership, even though I got to bust his balls from time to time. I must support this channel for a measly $4.99. Cheap entertainment. I am the best possible entertainment. Okay. Number one, you could just watch me for free. Okay. You can watch me for free. What beats watching me roast clowns and speak the truth and reason for free? You can't beat that, okay? If you love me, you pay me $4.99 a month, and I give you discounts on all my little grifts, except for tax prep. You don't get a discount on that. Okay, I'll give you a $5 discount. And, you get to have all your comments answered, and we all have a good time, okay? So I appreciate it. All right, so thank you for the gift once again. And we got Johnny Boy 128 Hood, my favorite company, Hood. We're in the hood here. All right, let me go ahead and open a window, and we're going to cover Hood. So my personal opinion of Hood is that it is a very disgusting company. It is an egregiously disgusting, evil company. And I figured this out over time, okay? When I first got on my YouTube channel, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. You could trade for free, right? It's a pretty cool concept. And, I downloaded the app. messed around on it a little bit. I didn't put serious money into it because I prefer to have serious money at better brokerages. But, I didn't think Hood was a big deal. And then I figured out, like, as I researched the company, what the company was all about. And it actually fundamentally goes against everything I believe in. My philosophy on investing is that you buy and hold total world index funds and ETF, mutual fund, whatever you have access to. You hold it in a tax advantage account. You never sell it. You reinvest dividends. And eventually, when you hit retirement, you should have enough money to ride off into the sunset. Okay. And then at that point, obviously, you might sell some shares. That's my philosophy. But the philosophy hinges on never timing the market, never trading. Because when you trade, you may think you're doing a smart move, when in reality, you don't have all the available information that you think you do. You make a mistake and you potentially sell right before a rip, or you buy right before a dip. I am not a fan of trading. I'm a fan of dollar cost averaging into a total world index, holding it forever, or at least until you hit retirement, reinvesting the dividends. Just buy it with your paycheck. Hood wants you to do the exact opposite. Hood wants you to trade. It wants you to gamble. The more that you trade, the more money that you make. That is the antithesis of what I believe in. Okay. They want you to trade crypto. Now they have like these stupid sports betting. What? On an investment app, we have sports betting. They have all this degeneracy options, and they make it so easy to do. And the whole time they're profiting from you trading all of this nonsense. And you're probably losing. Okay, I know all the winners, they claim that, oh, bro, I'm making so much money on investing, bro. I'm such a freaking genius, bro. Bro, I'm such a genius. No, I know as an experienced grifter clapper that most people, I'm just checking my screen here on my phone. I'm always paranoid that something's not working. But I know as an experienced grifter clapper that most people only shill their wins and they hide their freaking losses, okay? So I actually believe most people are incinerating capital on Hood. And they're trading when they should be buying and holding. But, of course, because we are in a clown market, we're in an insane, like, just massive peak euphoria. A company like Robinhood does extremely well in very powerful bull markets, okay? And the reason that is because retail investors, they chase performance. When they see stuff going up, they get interested in the stock market. They want to get quick gains. They want to get rich quick, bro, so they can get the Lambo. So they invest in a company, or they put their money in a company like Hood, and Hood does what it's supposed to do, which is to incentivize you to trade. And all these these basically people who can't afford to be gambling. You cannot afford to gamble if you don't have a lot of freaking money. And I don't think you should gamble at all. But anyway, they go on Hood and they start gambling. And the more they trade, the more money Hood makes. So in a market like this, Hood is going to go freaking vertical. It's going to go insane. This is my clown market this is one of the stocks in my clown market indicator portfolio. Because you can't really look at the financials and say, oh, well, I think it's a buy now because its PE is this and its earnings growth is this. You cannot, it's hard to predict that. What you can try to predict, you probably fail, but what you can try to predict is how long the clown market is going to last. Because as long as retail is getting sucked in and they're borrowing money and they're trading on margin, another degenerate thing to do, and as long as they're buying options and buying and selling options and buying and selling cryptocurrency, if you think that Robinhood can capture more and more degenerates and you don't think the bubble is going to pop anytime soon, you could make a lot of money in this stock. But there is a massive risk buying into a company like this. And the risk is that if we go into a bear market, retail will start recording even bigger losses because they're mostly in highly speculative, high beta stocks. And when they lose money, guess what they're going to do? They're going to quit investing. And when they quit investing, what happens to Robinhood's revenues? They utterly collapse, okay? If cryptocurrency goes into a massive bear market, which it will if the stock market goes into a bear market. Oh, it's a hedge, bro. Bitcoin's a hedge against inflation and it's a hedge against everything, bro. No, it's not. If we go into a recession and the stock market starts to sell off aggressively, this company will implode. I'm telling you, this will happen. When this happens, I have no idea. I would never touch a company like this. The only time I'd even consider like speculating in a company like this would not be now. It would be after a brutal recession, like completely annihilation of the stock market. Basically, when you see Jeremy Lefebvre just like looking panicked, and you see Meet Kevin deleting all of his videos, and you see all the grifters' views on their videos start to really deteriorate, that's when you could potentially start to build a position in the hopes that something happens to reverse the decline of the stock market. I'm not saying to do this. That would be the time to buy a company like Hood or Coinbase or anything that relies on retail morons trading tokens and options and buying on margin. Okay. I would not touch this company right now, because I am warning you, if there is a major stock market crash, the stock market might go down 20 or 30%, which is fine, whatever. This thing will utterly implode. I mean, look what happened during the last recession. Or I don't even know if it was a recession, technically. We'll go look at their profits. Look at these huge losses they incurred during the recession, during that little teeny tiny bear market. Yes, they got utterly exterminated. The stock sold off all the way to, what was it, $8, $9, like utter annihilation. Okay. And the only thing that saved this company was the resurgence of the stock market, the resurgence of the crypto market because of AI. So I would not think of this company as like, if I was an active investor, I would not think of this company as a buy and hold. I would think of this as like a swing trade. Kind of like, think about, try your best to time the bottom of a recession, scoop up some shares, and just wait for the inevitable recovery. Let it run and sell it. That's the only time I would even consider investing in this company. But I would be scared to death if I had a large position in this company right now, because this is not like Charles Schwab or any of the other actual large institutional companies that provide, investment services for retail. This is literally just a gambling parlor. Like Charlie Munger said, it's a gambling parlor. And when the clowns are out and forced gambling, it'll do well. As soon as they start to incur a lot of losses, this will utterly collapse. So I would stay the F away from this, being perfectly honest. This is not a buy and hold company. And it will implode. I guarantee it. If the bubble pops, the stocks just keep freaking going up into infinity. It just never stops. What's the stock market up like 1% today? So that's my thoughts on Hood. Like morally, I think it's a disgusting company. It's a horrific company. It's evil. This is an evil company. I believe in good and evil. I've seen evil. This is part of evil. Okay, what they're doing is disgusting. It is harming people for corporate profit. But if I didn't care about that, I'd say, oh, yeah, we'll just wait for an utter collapse and try to time the bottom of the recession. Look out for a retail capitulation. And YouTube's a good proxy for that. You can actually kind of see when people really start to capitulate. And then at that point, if you wanted to, you could speculate on it. I personally am probably not going to do that. I'm at the point in my life where I just don't want to gamble lots of money. I don't need to. Okay. So that's my thoughts on Hood. Let me know if that was sufficient for you, buddy boy. All right. We got another super chat from Major Tao. Major General Tao. General Tao. You should change your name to 5-star General Tao. That's how much of a Chad you are. All hail the 105 IQ, the pillar of Western immortality. You're talking about normies here. I'm not a fan of normies. Okay. I prefer really dumb people or really smart people. Normies are boring. They're just like bugs. They're programmed bugs.
Oh, let's watch football. Oh my God. Let's go on Robinhood. Let's buy stocks that go up a lot.
All right, so appreciate the super chat. Let's see. All right, let's do some member-only comments while we're hanging out. Where is Gil? The problem with shorting a Trump market is he can tweet Ishmael, and it went well. And that's so true. In 5 minutes, even if you are right on the market, it really is incredible what this bull market has become. I'm in shock. I am in shock. I mean, VT's at like what, 141, 142? Like, what is going on here? It's nuts. And he starts all these clownish trade wars, and then he bends the knee, and then the stock market just goes up more. It's like, does it end? Does it ever frickin' end? Probably not never the smartest long-term strategy to short Trumps. No, I would just don't short people. Stop shorting. You don't have to short. Just be long, like me, like my dong. Just buy and hold. This is not hard. This is not rocket science. but it's overvalued. Yeah, a lot of things probably are overvalued, but guess what? You cannot time the top. And if you do, it's not because you're smart. It's because you got freaking lucky. Okay. PayPal's earnings tomorrow. Oh, I can't wait to. I don't know if I'm going to have time to cover that. I'm eating two cheeks at once. Well, not at once, but back to back. After this weekend, I'm taking a big break. Oh, we got a Venmo. Hold on. Did you guys hear that cha-ching? All right. I will not dox the man. His name begins with a C. Oh, you doxed him, bro. You doxed him. I know who it is. So he said, SLV ETF, is that silver? He said it's a reliable silver proxy or clown ticker. Okay, let's get into Strongman's philosophy on silver, and we'll talk about whether this is a good proxy. So first of all, I am not a precious metal investor, okay? It is a commodity. It is a shiny rock. Yes, it has utility, unlike Bitcoin. Yes, it is used in the real world to do real things, okay? Is it a hedge against inflation? Maybe. Sometimes, I guess. I mean, let's go look at the last 5 years. So we had insane inflation. Let's go down here. Look at this. We had insane inflation like 21, 2022, and silver stayed flat. If we had huge inflation, right, wouldn't silver have skyrocketed? But now we have like much less inflation, at least according to government statistics, and now it's going vertical. So I don't necessarily understand the argument that, oh, inflation, precious metals, bro. Okay, I think over time, yes, it'll probably go up. Like if the dollar keeps getting debased, yes, I think it'll go up. Okay. But it's not this like reliable one-stop shop hedge against inflation. As a matter of fact, I think the stock market is a better hedge against inflation, or even better, being globally diversified. Because if the dollar weakens, your international earnings are actually higher in dollar terms. Okay? So global diversification is also a hedge against inflation. You own the means of production. And if, like I said, if the dollar sells off, international outperforms. And oh, by the way, it has so far this year, okay? I'm sure U.S. stocks are vertical line at the end, but you get my point. So, SLV. If I wanted to invest in silver, would I buy this or would I buy physical silver? I would buy this if I had to choose. The reason I say that is, and I'm not doing this just to be clear, if I was trying to like time silver, I would not go out and buy a shiny silver rock and hold on to it and then maybe try to sell it at some point in the future. Why? Because you have broker costs. Okay. This is a pretty good proxy for, I mean, you're paying an expense ratio, but you also have the peace of mind. You don't have to worry about hiding your freaking silver or paying to store it at a bank or something like that. Okay. I think if you were going to, excuse me, I think if you were going to speculate on the price of silver, this is an easy way to do it. A very easy way to do it. But like I said, I would not do that. And people are like, oh, but if you have the physical silver, if there's the apocalypse, you could use that as currency. I don't think that would work. If there's an apocalypse, okay, I want to be armed and I want to have a bunch of food and like a power source and some shelter. Like maybe like a couple barrels of oil in my garage, a generator, some arms to protect myself, and a bunch of clean water and food that doesn't spoil. That's what I would think would help me during the apocalypse, okay? Having a shiny rock, I just don't think this is going to save you in an apocalypse, okay? That's just my personal opinion. Now, if you want to buy a coin, like it's pretty, I would get a gold. If I wanted to get a gold coin, but somebody was nagging me and I didn't get it. Now I feel like a freaking moron. But anyway, never listen to nags. But if you want to get the coin, okay, it's cool and shiny. You're going to pay probably broker fees. You're probably not going to get the spot price. And then you got to worry about hiding it somewhere. Hope you don't get freaking robbed, or you got to store it somewhere. But if you want to get a coin, okay, I don't have a problem with that. But if I was just speculating on the price of silver, I'd rather just buy this. It's liquid. Like if I wanted to sell a piece of silver in my hand, I gotta go drive to a freaking, I don't know, pawn shop or something, get ripped off trying to freaking sell it. If I want to sell silver on the market, I could just go on my Robin stock account and sell this in a heartbeat. I would rather do this, to be perfectly honest. Okay? That's just my humble opinion. Now, you're going to pay fees, and there's no earnings. It's just a rock. But if I had to choose, and I'm not buying either, I would rather go with this, to be perfectly honest. Okay? Man, look at this. See, look at that. We had inflation, and it went down. I mean, it's done okay. But when you compare this to a stock chart, the stock chart doesn't include dividends. I bet you the stock market has crushed silver. I mean, look at that. Since 2006, I'm just not a fan, okay? I'm not saying like I'm an expert on the silver markets and supply and demand. I'm not an expert on that. Never claimed I was. But it doesn't make sense to me as an inflation hedge or an apocalypse hedge. It's just a speculation. Like, oh, I think there's going to be a huge demand for silver, so I'm going to buy it right here and hold it. And then when I think the demand peaks and, maybe there's an oversupply, then I'm going to sell it at that point. Good luck timing that, okay? But yes, I'd rather go. If I had to choose, I'd rather go with this. That's my humble opinion. Okay, thank you for the Venmo, good sir. Like I said, if you Venmo, it actually saves you money. Saves you $1 up front, and then I don't think you pay sales tax. And I'm pretty sure, well, I know for a fact, I get more money too. It's like a win-win. It's a win-win. Okay, Major General Tao says 1 midwit at a time. We're going to convert them. No, the midwits are not going to listen until they're not going to listen until the market collapses. And then it doesn't even matter at that point. There were so many grifters that got their cheeks clapped in 2022. And they're right back to grifted doing the same crap they were before. So I am not very positive on the average retail investor. I've been on YouTube for 5 years, going on 6. Simple and good strategy, strong man, but without a cult leader, they don't DCA because they don't believe in the future. Yeah, everybody's all worried about the future. I mean, fundamentally, I'm an optimist. I think we'll figure stuff out, but there could be some turbulence in the meantime. And the beautiful thing about VT is even if the market sucks going forward, even if returns are garbage, you still get the market return. Okay? That's probably better than most people. Oh, we got another text. He said his name begins with an F. He said, keep him anonymous, but I just doxed him because I said his name began with an F. You doxed him, bro! You doxed him, bro! All right. He wants me to cover ticker. And so when you Venmo, I've set the settings to anonymous, so you shouldn't be able to see any other transactions. Ticker symbol F. Imagine getting fired because you sent me a Venmo.
That guy's obnoxious. He's a clown. I'm firing you because you watch Strong Man.
Anyway, okay, he wants me to cover FLO, the flow. The flow. Let's go with the flow. What is this? What is the flow? Like I said, guys, I got to stop at like 750. Flowers Food Incorporated. What in oblivion is this? All right. It's got a market cap of 2.7 billion, trailing revenue of 5 billion, profitable, trailing net income over the last 12 months of 219 million. It's got a PE ratio of 12 and a forward PE of 12. So a forward PE implies that people think it's going to be profitable in the future, which is better than a lot of other companies out there. They have a very high dividend yield. Let me say this, and I'll say this 1,000 times. A high dividend yield doesn't mean nothing. As a matter of fact, I would be suspicious of a high dividend yield, to be perfectly honest. Okay. So, I mean, I can see right off the bat, it's a low PE company. So that implies the market is pricing in not a lot of growth. Okay. It's not cheap because it's a low PE, not necessarily. It's got a beta of 0.26. So this thing barely moves. It's not super correlated with the market. All right, let's see the performance. Year to date, it's down 37%. It's down 42% on the year. It's down 46% on 5 years. And it's up. Okay, so they had a good run basically from 2000 all the way to 2023. And then it's been selling off like freaking crazy. So I guess they call this a falling knife. Okay. Why it's selling off, I guess we'll find out. Flowers Foods produces and markets packaged bakery food products in the U.S. I just farted. The company's principal products include fresh bread, buns. I like buns, rolls, snacks. Okay, so they make a bunch of bakery products. Nature's Own, Dave's Killer Bread. That's interesting branding there. Wonder Bread, Canyon. Okay, I recognize some of these. Miss Freshly's and Tasty Cake brand names. Distributes its products through a direct store delivery distribution. Okay, so it sells directly to stores. Makes sense. It's been around since 1919. Let's go look at the website. Okay, we got a random person consuming a burger. Oh, I know. I've seen this in the store. This is pricey. Okay, I'll tell you number one why I'm not a fan of companies like this. And this is just me as a consumer. When I go to Walmart or Food Lion, you know what I pick? I pick the generic bread. Do you want to know why? Because it's just as freaking good and it's like half the price. So I've seen Dave's bread. I recognize the logo. It's in the local Food Lion here. And I'm like, okay, that's like $5. Like it's kind of pricey. And then I look at the Food Lion branded, and the Walmart even has better like generic branded bread. Like it's better, I think. And I'm like, why would I buy this more expensive bread when I could get a generic bread for like, 2/3 or even half the price? And you got to think, when a consumer is getting strapped, like if the average consumer is getting strapped, like their budget's tight, they're going to go with the generic freaking bread. Okay, maybe that's partially why this company's selling off. Okay, let's see. Let's look at their brands a little bit more. We Are Visionaries, Nature's Own, Wonder Bread. I'm very biased against Wonder Bread because it's nutrient deprived trash. Tasty Cake, Snack Pie, so Amerifat. I'm surprised the stock hasn't gone vertical, the amount of fat Americans. Yeah, they got a lot of brands. Holy crap. Papa Pita. Bubba's. I've never seen this in my life. All right, let's look at some earnings here. All right. So, yep, you can see this is why it has a low PE. I mean, it's not really growing that fast. Okay, you can see revenue's growing like less than inflation. Let's go look at the annual. Yeah, it's basically, the revenue's growing slower than inflation. So that's one issue right there. So it's not cheap. Pretty decent gross margins. I mean, they've hovered around, very low 50s, high 40s. Operating margin, pretty decent. I mean, it's been slightly trending down, but nothing crazy. Profit margins, pretty stable. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a bond. Think about it. A bond. What do you do when you buy a bond? You get regular interest payments. What does this company basically do? It basically gives you fixed profit payments, if you think about it like earnings per share standpoint. So you got to ask yourself, what's a better deal? Buying a 5 or 10-year treasury from the feds or maybe from a corporation, or buying the stock of a company that makes bread, that has tons of competition, that isn't growing earnings, revenue, or profits? That's the kind of the calculus you have to do there. Let's see earnings per share. Yeah, earnings per share is basically flat. This is like a bond. It's like a much more riskier bond, if you think about it that way. And it's been, I mean, they had one crazy quarter of earnings per share. That was an accounting adjustment. Let's look at cash flow. Wow, they've actually kind of grown operating cash flow a little bit, but nothing crazy there. I mean, it could be like balance sheet items. Capital expenditures, roughly the same. Let's see. I guess we can ask Google AI. Oh, they packed on a ton of debt. What is this? They issued a ton of debt. What are they issuing debt for? Yeah, holy crap. I mean, what do they do with the debt? Oh, they had an acquisition. Okay. So they had some they probably bought another freaking bread brand back in Q1 of 2025. You can see they spent $791 million of cash, and they probably issued shares on top of that to buy another brand. So let's see. They're paying a steady dividend, but I mean, it's not really going to grow that fast. You want to know why? And if they run into trouble, if they continue to have flat revenues or maybe even like declining revenues, especially with inflation, you're not going to get like this massive growing dividend. Okay, you're basically going to get a steady dividend, kind of like a bond. And you got to ask yourself, well, this is a company that can go bankrupt. Anything's possible. Maybe just buy a bond. I don't know. I mean, with the other companies, at least you have like potential massive earnings growth that could outstrip a bond, and you'd pay the appropriate price for that. All right, so they got 11 million of cash. They run really, holy crap. Yeah, they run cash light. Look at that. Most recent quarter, they had 11 million of cash. Accounts receivable, pretty flat. Let me look at their okay, at least they have positive shareholder equity. I'll give them that. Yeah, they packed on a ton of debt to make an acquisition. It didn't even grow their freaking revenues. Their profits didn't. They had this huge acquisition. Their profits didn't change. Their revenues didn't change. So personally, I mean, I guess let's look at the valuation. What the hell am I doing? Am I blind? Oh, here's the ratios. Okay. Oh, forward PEs, the lowest it's been in 5 years. Price to sales, the lowest it's been. Price to books. Price to free cash flow. I mean, it's from a fundamental standpoint. I mean, I compared to the last 5 years, I guess it's cheap. But me personally, I wouldn't buy this because I'd rather just buy a bond. I don't want to worry about the potential risks of a company that's not growing revenue, has to make these huge acquisitions, not really growing profits, has a very slow, steady dividend. I'd rather just buy a 5-year treasury or a 10-year treasury. The 10 years yielding, what, 4%? I'm not a fan. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad company, but this just reminds me of a very risky bond, to be perfectly honest. Okay. So, all right, that's that. PayPal. Oh, we got somebody else here. Got a PayPal by Snace now. Let me see if I got other snooper chats before this one came in. We did not. We did not. Okay, how unfortunate. You people suck. Give me lots of money. All right, let me read the message. His name begins with M. I know I just doxed him. Let's look at Nike and see if there is anything there in a turnaround story, if I should cut my losses down 8% and move on. I'm on the fence. Well, first of all, where does Nike source most of its products from? Where does Nike manufacture most of its products? Okay, they're made in Vietnam. Okay, so China risk, bro. So they manufacture half of all Nike brand footwear in Vietnam. They still have a lot in China. Oh, okay. First of all, you're going to have to deal with all the drama that's going on with China. Okay. Yes, half the products are made in Vietnam, but it seems like a lot's made in China too. What is Trump doing all the freaking time? Oh, I'm going to tariff you 1,000,000,000%, bro. You have to deal with nonstop freaking drama. Okay. That's one thing you're going to have to worry about. And it's completely unpredictable. Like, you have no idea what's going to freaking happen. And God help us, if there's a war with China, this company's cooked. This company's done. Vietnam borders China. Okay? Borders China. And then, funny enough, here's another funny thing. People say that we should not have communist China make our products, right? Have you looked into the government of Vietnam, perchance? Do you want to know what the government of Vietnam is? It's communist. It's communist. That's right. So we have all this freaking fear mong. Oh, China's communist. And then they're moving stuff to Vietnam, which, oh, by the way, borders China. Oh, wow. We're our supply chains are secure now. Come on, people. Do you not see the propaganda here? Vietnam is. You remember the Vietnam War? You remember what that was about? Yeah. It's about fighting communism, and we lost. Okay? So there's a huge risk just with supply chains right here. So let's see. I can go look at the financials. This would just be a stressful stock to own. I can tell you that. You're looking good one day. Like, the stock could go vertical, and then the next freaking day, Trump tweets something, and it collapses. Like, do you want to deal with that? Really? Look, God. They're having a tough time. Yeah, their revenue's getting absolutely shellacked. Basically, like, anemic revenue growth. Basically, flat revenue growth. Are they at least improving profits? Like, what is Nike doing to, like, really distinguish themselves? Like, look at their earnings. I mean, historically, their earnings have been compressing. It's probably because of freaking the trade war. Oh, I got a notification. Oh, it's okay. It's in an hour. Okay, so earnings are revenue's flat. Earnings are compressing. You have to deal with freaking Trump's trade war crap. Let's see. Yeah, profits collapsing. Free cash flow trending down. I don't know, man. Like, I get it. It's an iconic brand, and, you know, anything could happen, but I'd rather just buy VT than this. Okay. There's too much crap going on. Now, I'm not saying the stock can go vertical. I mean, if you have a small position in it and you really believe in the company, okay, whatever. Not a big deal. But, like, what's your catalyst? Like, what's the bull case? Basically, it's just, oh, it's a good brand, bro. That's what I feel that most people are talking about when they buy a company like this. Just same thing with Starbucks. Like, whenever a company sells off, if it's a large cap US with a recognizable brand, people buy the dip because they think it's always got a vertical line. That's not necessarily true. I mean, how much is the stock? What's going on with the stock? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's cheap, but look at this. It's got a forward PE of 36 on, like, basically flat revenue. I mean, maybe they're going to start growing revenue again. I don't know. But that seems kind of expensive. I mean, maybe you know more than me about future revenue and profit growth, but at least the historical trends aren't looking pretty. And then you got to deal with like a random dude tweeting. Like that's another curveball that you can't even predict. And then all the manufacturing is in communist countries, basically. Yes, Vietnam is communist. Go look it up. Okay. I personally would not like Nike. But don't get mad at me if it freaking vertical lines the next day. But me personally, I would not buy the stock. Okay. I don't, it doesn't even appeal to me. Oh, shoes, bro. Shoes. Oh. So no, probably not. All right. I mean, could it recover? Yes. I mean, it is an iconic brand, but you're probably gonna have a lot of stress holding this stock. Okay. Just saying. And there's a lot of risks there with the manufacturing. If there's a war with China, there's a lot of risks there. Okay. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Move their manufacturing to America? Really? Yeah, I'm sure their profits are going to explode, bro. Like, what is Nike's market share? What is Nike's market share versus competitors? Nike holds the largest market share, between 14 to 16%. Adidas holds the next at 8.9. Are they even growing their market share? Anta, the heck is that? Maybe this has like a little chart. Okay, I don't know how to read. This is not a pretty chart. Can I just see like trends over time? All right, that's 2018. That's useless. Yeah, I'm trying to see trends over time, but I can't really find it. I mean, they're the dominant company for sneakers, at least as of 2022. So, but I mean, it's just not impressive to me. Like, what is this? That's 2021. I mean, it seems like at least through 2021, they were able to hold a decent market share, but it looks like there's a decent amount of competition out there. Okay. So me personally, no. I'm not, I don't like apparel stocks. Like it's like trendy stuff. I don't like that. It's not my thing. I'd rather buy, I don't know, Tesla. At least Tesla was unique for a little bit. All right. Let's keep going. Oh, we got another one. All right. Daddy's printing tendies tonight. Doge. Are we talking about the Department of Government Efficiency, or are we talking about Dogecoin? Okay. Because if we're talking about Dogecoin, I'm going to prove once and for all. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, I didn't miss any. If we're talking about Dogecoin here, I'm going to prove once and for all that Dogecoin is hot freaking trash because its biggest shill has abandoned it. Okay? Yeah. So you know what? We're just going to go look at Dogecoin. So I present to you. Let me pull this up. Let me find this clown, this greaseball, this sickening, disgusting greaseball. What's his name? The Dogecoin millionaire. I'm a millionaire, bro. Yeah, but I'm not gonna sell because I'm an idiot. What is his name? Dogecoin millionaire. What is that clown's name? Let me look. I'll share the screen in a second. What is the Dogecoin millionaire's name? Glauber? His name is Glauber Contis Soto. Why is this man? This man is famous, okay? This man is respected by lots of people. Oh, his name is Slum Doge Millionaire. That's what it is. That's an indicator. Slum Doge. Okay? So, let's go ahead and let me show you how much a piece of garbage Dogecoin is. Okay? All right, you said Dogecoin. So the biggest shill of Dogecoin, and yes, this is my X account. You can follow it. I post edgy things and I make fun of people on there. This man is a piece of garbage. He is a scumbag. He is a degenerate. He is emblematic of the disgusting gambling culture that is the United States of America and our financial markets. Okay. This man became famous because he basically went all in a fundamentally worthless coin that went vertical for a couple months or even less. I don't even freaking remember. I remember everybody was talking about Dogecoin, duh. Everybody was talking about it. This moron, am I sharing? Let me make sure I'm sharing. Hold on. Okay, I am sharing. This absolute moron was famous because of Dogecoin. He got interviewed by Andre Jerkoff. I think he talked to Graham Stephan. Like, this dude was the crap, right? Is he still shilling Dogecoin? Well, let's see. Okay, this is the king of Dogecoin. So his pinned tweet is from April 16, 2021. Okay, I'm just going to put this out there. I am an unemployed loser greaseball. I believe I'm the first Dogecoin millionaire of 2021. Oh, yeah, how's that going, clown? Dude, if I had $1 million, oh my God, I wouldn't care about the tax consequences. I wouldn't care. I would sell it instantly. Even if I had to pay freaking 37% tax and then freaking state tax, even if I had to give the government $400,000. Oh, yeah, if I had $1 million in a worthless shark coin like Dogecoin, yeah, I would sell it in a heartbeat. That's right. Uh-huh. But this moron held on to it. It's officially yesterday, bro. I'm a greedy scumbag. So let's look at whether he's still talking about Dogecoin. Evergreen. Okay, it's these little, what are these, munchkins with a Pepe on a computer I saw when I was in the 3rd grade. Okay, he's retweeting some random dude. Okay, he's got all these crypto. We're so back, bro. Elon made a Viking video. Floki. Okay. Like, he doesn't even talk about Dogecoin anymore. This is literally the Dogecoin millionaire. And all this degenerate does is pump random cryptos. And I'm pretty sure he's paid to do this. Okay. This clown is literally paid, at least I think, by a bunch of scumbag pumpers to shill other coins. And the whole purpose of that is to convince you to buy it so it pumps a price so the original creators of the coin can sell it for personal profit and leave you holding the bag. That is the peak of degeneracy. That is the peak of filth. That is the peak of dirtiness. That is sick. And this clown facilitates that for personal profit. And he doesn't even talk about Dogecoin anymore. Oh, gold. I'm going to compare gold to Bitcoin. Oh, digital gold. Oh, I'm stupid. Who's this hag? What is it? What? There's so many clowns. What is this? A gambling? What? MetaWin.com? Okay. Where's the Dogecoin? He doesn't even talk about Dogecoin. By the way, that is a very attractive woman. And there's no way in heck anything happened there. Okay. There's no way. Unless you'd have to pay a lot of money for that. Let's see. If I have 7,300 left in crypto, what do I buy at the bottom of the next dip to come out a millionaire? He's such a loser. Serious investors only. Thank you. So, okay, the man himself has abandoned Dogecoin. That tells you all you need to know about Dogecoin. It's trash. There's 1 trillion cryptos out there. Dogecoin is a meme of the past. It's not cool anymore. The only way crypto goes up is if other morons are convinced to buy it. And that's done through marketing. And you market by hitting onto a meme that everybody thinks is funny. Okay? Dogecoin is old. The Doge is not fun. I don't even think about Doge anymore. Do you? Even the Department of Government Efficiency failed. Okay? You know what I think about Doge? Well, that was a small one. But anyway, piece of garbage. All right. Let's see. Pepe coin. Okay. All right. Pepe coin. Is that a thing? Is that still a thing? Let me pull it up. Pepe coin. Jesus Christ. Pepe coin. Oh, Pepe, get it? He's a frog. Oh, he stands for the right wing, bro. Oh, of course it's on Robinhood. Hold on, Pepe price. Of course it's on Robinhood. All right, I think this is the coin. All right, let's go look at Pepe coin. Let me share my screen. You people are sad. You people are a bunch of losers. Life is not about gambling in the crypto and stock market, okay? The economy does not function based on people speculating. That's called gambling. You know how the economy functions? Somebody gets up every freaking morning, they put on their work suit, and they go fix a pothole, or they go repave a road somewhere, or they go and they maintain power lines, or they maintain the sewer system, or they're a doctor, a nurse, or an accountant, or an HVAC rep or person. That's how the economy functions. People provide real value to other people. What do you losers do? I don't want to work. It's hard. I just want to buy a coin at the bottom and sell it at the top because I'm a loser. That's what you are if you're buying this freaking garbage, okay? Pepe was basically a meme back in, I mean, he obviously, I still see lots of Pepes, okay? He I don't think he'll ever truly die. But he was really big back in the first election of Trump, right? So if you could have launched this coin back then, you probably would have made a fortune. I don't know when this thing was launched, but let's look at the price action. I'm sure it's ripping, bro. Okay. It was only launched in 2023? Really? Okay, so like every other crypto, it has some pumps, and then it collapses, and then it pumps, and then it collapses. And of course, the genius crypto analysts, here's what they do. They basically say past performance equals future performance because that's how their genius brains work. They look at the chart and say, oh, well, it went up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. So now that it's gone down, it's gonna go back up, bro. That's not how that works. This thing could just go to zero instantaneously. Okay? This thing could go to freaking zero instantaneously. Do you remember when Trump tweeted about whatever he freaking tweeted? Was it China? Something. He tweeted about that, and all these crypto losers got liquidated. There was I think he was a Ukrainian guy. He out himself. Okay? He was this big baller. He had a Lambo. Yeah, I got a Lambo, bro. Yeah, I'm so cool, bro. And then he gets liquidated because the market sold off 1 or 2%. What? And then he out himself. That's a RuneScape reference. What? You people you're living a lie. Crypto valuation is a lie. Your wealth is built on quicksand. It is not real. It's fake. The numbers in your account don't really exist. It's held up by nothing. And when it's held up by nothing, guess what it's actually worth? Zero. Yeah. That includes Pepe coin. And here's what's going to happen, okay? Here's Strongman's prediction. Pepe's going to go up. Elon's going to retweet it. It's going to go up. And people are going to be like, you're stupid. See? It went up, bro. Nobody knows what's going to happen to Pepe. But I can tell you what it's worth. Zero. And eventually, I think it will be a zero. It's worth nothing. Yes. It's propped up by hot freaking air. By freaking trash. But it's a frog and it's funny. Oh, okay. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, okay? Join the cult of Pepe. You should convince your parents to buy it so they can buy it. It moves the price up, and then you can sell and leave your parents as bag holders. Why don't you do that? Yeah, you're winning, bro. It's one giant grift. It's evil. It's evil. It's not good. to be trading this garbage and shilling it. If you're shilling it, the only reason you're shilling it is to convince other people to freaking buy it so you can sell it at a higher price and dump all that trash on somebody else for your own personal profit. It's evil. Okay? It's not good. You're not a good person because you made a bunch of money scamming people. You're a piece of garbage. But I made a lot of money. That's all that matters because that's all that matters in America. Doesn't matter how you get the money, just as long as you got it. Okay. All you crypto shills are going to get what you freaking deserve. I hope the market collapses, and I hope you get thrown in freaking jail. You're all scum. You're all evil. There's my freaking rant. No, Pepe's. I mean, like, what is? Come on, what is this? Man, you know what? If I was to invest in crypto, I would literally buy like a total. I would index crypto. I'm not joking. I mean, you talk about you can't predict the future for stocks. Holy crap, you really can't predict the future for cryptocurrency. I would just freaking index. If there was like a total crypto world index, and I was even thinking about buying it, which I'm not, that's what I would buy. I would not try to pick individual cryptos because they're all poop. You really think you can determine the winner? Seriously? But my crypto's better because XYZ. No, it's all trash. All of it. Every single one. Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's all garbage. Anybody that pumps crypto is a scammer and a liar and a thief. And a lot of people know it's a scam and they'll pump it anyway for personal profit. But I made money. Shut your dirty mouth. That's my analysis of Pepe. Holy crap. Okay, we got some more. Man, we're having a lucrative night here. I need to grift more. What am I doing with my life? All right, we can do a couple more, and then I got to close shop. I have a potential client, or, well, it's already a client, but got a new thing I could be doing. Might be doing more taxes. There's always tax. There's always time for taxes. You'd be surprised. I just finished 2 tax returns not too long ago. All right, ISRG, Intuitive Surgical. Is it overvalued after pumped last week? Well, I cannot tell you value it. I cannot determine if something's overvalued, but I can look at it and give you my honest opinion. Okay. Intuitive Surgical? ISRG. Let me double check to make sure that's what you said. ISRG. Okay. What in oblivion is this? Holy crap. It's got $195 billion market cap on trailing revenue of $9 billion. That's a price to sales. So you're paying. Where's my calculator? This thing better be growing fast. I'll tell you that. 195 divided by 9.61. You're paying $20 for $1 of trailing revenue. This company better be growing real fast. It's got trailing net income of $2.75 billion. So very profitable. Okay. Earnings per share, PE ratio of 72. I mean, if it's growing fast, not necessarily the end of the world. And a forward PE of 59. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of implied growth here. What does this mean? Intuitive Surgical develops, manufactures, and markets products that enable physicians and healthcare to enhance the quality of minimally invasive care. They offer the Da Vinci surgical system that enables surgical procedures using a minimally invasive approach. Let's go look at the website. The Da Vinci 5, the most advanced and integrated platform we've ever created. Okay. Can I look at this? Why is this moving? Okay. What is this, like an eye tester? What is this? Does the physician put their head here? Okay, why does this keep moving? I'm trying to look at this. Okay. I guess that's like their surgery tool. Ion robotic bronchoscopy. Advanced lung care with minimally invasive. I wonder how that works. Like, what do they use, like lasers to not cut you up too bad? Let's see. What do they say about it? How is it minimally invasive? Oh, hey, mommy. Let me ask Google. How is Intuitive Surgical minimally invasive? allow surgeons to operate through small incisions using tiny, high-precision instruments that offer a magnified 3D. That's interesting. Okay. Small incisions, enhanced vision, robotic control. The surgeon sits at a console using hand controls to manipulate the robotic arms. Greater dexterity, reduced trauma. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Are there any competitors? Are there any competitors to this company? They have several significant competitors in the medical robotics market, ranging from large to newer, more focused. They've held a dominant position. Rivals are entering the market with their own robotic systems. Medtronic, Johnson & Johnson, Stryker. These are big companies. Okay, I recognize some of these. What's their advantage? Early mover. That means nothing. Tesla was an early move. Excuse me. Tesla was an early mover. Look what freaking happened to Tesla's profits, at least, not the stock price. Complete ecosystem. Okay, so basically their advantage is they have first mover advantage. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's look at the financials. Let's see. Okay, revenue's growing pretty strong. Net income is growing very powerfully. Share issuance, really not that crazy. Basically keeping the share count. Actually, it's gone down a little bit. Margins. I mean, do they even have, how do they do recurring revenue? Or is it just they sell the product once and that's it? Okay, margins are strong. Very strong. My only concern with this company would be you need to really look at the competitors and watch the market share closely. That's the main thing with this company because they're first mover, they're growing revenue fast, earnings are growing fast, everything looks good, right? But the big risk is that some other competitor comes and dethrones them. So you really have to understand their market position and really look into whether their leadership has a good strategy to maintain dominance. And then you also have to ask yourself, okay, can they keep doing recurring revenues, or is it they're just going to sell all these products, eventually peak out, and then their revenue is going to massively slow down? But I mean, overall, the company looks good from a financial standpoint. I mean, the valuation's kind of high, but it's also growing profits and cash flows very fast. So they're buying back. Woo! Look at these stock buybacks. Good Lord. Let's see. Holy crap. Wow. Yeah, there is some risk here. I mean, high flyers like this can collapse, man. They can utterly freaking collapse, but that's what I think about it. I think you have to kind of really understand the competitive landscape, and you really have to ask yourself, can they keep their competitive edge? Because the more competition enters the market, the more revenue is taken by other competitors, and usually that means lower margins because they start competing for price. So you could see a scenario where their revenue growth starts to really slow down because competitors are eating into it and their margins compress. Look what happened to Tesla. But of course, the stock went up. But this company doesn't have freaking clown-on scum rat pumping it. So that's my thought. I mean, like, honestly, I don't see any like red flags from a financial standpoint. Let's see. Let's look at their balance sheet. Yeah, they got $5 billion of cash and short-term investments. Let's look at their short-term debts. No, not significant short-term debts, and more than a quarter is unearned revenue. Assets, they've really been growing their property, plant, and equipment. Some goodwill, but nothing crazy. Let's look at their debt. They don't really have any debt, like long-term debt. And from a balance sheet perspective, they look this fantastic. I mean, everything looks great. Like looking at it as an accountant, but that's not really all of it. You know what I'm saying? There's also like, what's going to happen in the future? How good are their competitors? How's this going to affect their margins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd be very careful with this one because a stock that's flying like this can utterly collapse. And your cheeks are going to get blown out. Okay? You should have bought it back here, bro. You should have bought it when it was $1. God, it used to be a penny stock. Crazy. Imagine you just bought and held this. I mean, if you had the balls to hold it since freaking 2003. So, interesting company. Never heard of it. All right. What's up next? Mexl. Tortilla Mexican Grill. Oh, man. There's no competition in the Mexican food market in America. All right. Mexl. Let me find it. Mexl. Is it this? Tortilla Mexican Grill. Hold on. Tortilla Mexican. Okay, I think I found it. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, let's look at this highly competitive Mexican restaurant. All right, if this is the wrong one, let me know. I'll look at another one. Or the correct one, but it's listed in London on the London Stock Exchange. So it's got a market cap of 14 million. And remember, we're talking about Mexican food here. There's like three. I live in like a tiny town in Virginia. There's like 3 Mexican restaurants in this town. It's got a market cap of, there's a lot of Mexican places. It's America. Market cap of 14 million and trailing revenue of 72 million. That's concerning right off the bat. Okay. Trailing loss, no forward PE. So they're not even projecting profits in the future. Oh my God. Okay. This chart tells you something. Okay. This chart tells you something. This tells you there's a lot of concerns here. Okay. And you're not even seeing forward profits. What do? They operate, manage, and franchises Mexican restaurants under the Tortilla, Chilango, and Fresh Burritos brands in France, the UK, and the Middle East. Oh, they're in Europa. Is Mexican food a thing in Europe? Like, is it popular in Europe? Whenever I visited Europe, we always had like Indian food or something, or Middle Eastern food. It's formerly known as Tortilla Mexican Grill Limited and changed its name. They were founded in 2007 and headquartered in London, the United Kingdom. So, it's also, so here's another thing. On top of it's in a market that I don't know how competitive the European Mexican food market is. In America, this thing would get clapped, okay? On top of dealing with Mexican food, you're also dealing with currency fluctuations. Now, I'm globally diversified, so I don't really stress about currency. But when it comes to buying an individual stock, yeah, you really got to worry about currency fluctuations because currency fluctuations can cook your returns depending on which way the dollar's going or which way the pound's going. That's another thing that you can't even predict that. How are you going to predict currency fluctuations? Like this year, the dollar sold off like freaking crazy, and that's actually pumped up returns of VXUS because as the dollar weakens, basically you could buy more dollars with the earnings of foreign corporations, but it can go the other way too. You can't predict. There's no freaking way you can predict it. Okay. Or at least I don't know how to predict it. So, and on top of that, they're not even guiding. There's not even an expectation of future profit. I mean, this thing's basically like priced out for bankruptcy. Let's look at semi-annual revenue. All right, they're growing revenues. That's good. Okay. They're accelerating losses. Look at this. In 6 months, they lost 2 million pounds. The 6 months prior to that, they lost 3 million pounds. So they went from profitable back in 2021 to basically posting losses for every half year, except for one freaking half year back in 2022. Yeah, earnings are hot freaking trash. Free cash flow is basically imploded. Negative margins. Are they issuing shares? I'm sure they are. Oh, they kept them full. Now they haven't issued any shares. Let's look at their balance sheet. Okay, look at their cash, man. They have 1.6 million of pounds of cash as of the most recent half year, June 29. So their cash position, they're running a really tight ship for cash. Total current assets of 5.8 million pounds. Current total debts of 18.6 million. Let's see. Yeah, they're almost cash starved. I mean, that's concerning. Long-term assets, mostly the restaurants, I would imagine, property, plant, equipment. Long-term debt, they're packing on debt, probably to freaking stay alive. Let's see. Yeah, because they didn't really buy any property, plant, equipment. Well, they did do maybe an acquisition here because I saw Goodwill went up. Their debt go up. I mean, even without, so they did an acquisition, looks like in the second half of 2024, but they're still packing on debt. So they're packing up long-term debt, probably to freaking stay alive. It's not just for acquisitions. Okay, negative shareholders' equity. What does that tell you? They have more debt than assets. That's scary. Okay, so they're losing money and they have more debt than assets. That's very concerning to me. Barely cash flow positive from an operating standpoint, and they're spending all of their cash on capital expenditure. All their positive operating cash flow is basically going to capital expenditures, at least in the most recent quarter. They got these tiny acquisitions. This is concerning, man. I mean, this is highly speculative. I would not put a lot of money into this. No. This is very risky. I mean, literally a $14 million market cap. This thing is priced for utter annihilation. I mean, if you want to do a small speculative investment, that's on you. This is a gamble that they somehow survive, basically. How are they going to survive? I don't freaking know. I don't know. I don't understand Mexican food in Europe, but I know in America, like, why would you buy a Mexican restaurant? Okay, the margins have to be dog crap because there's so much competition. It's insane. Literally, it's everywhere here. I don't know what it's like in Europe. I think I saw one Mexican restaurant in Europe, and I'm like, they didn't even give me free chips. I was pissed. So, personally, no, I'm not a big fan of that one. Okay. All right, we'll do some more comments, and then I got to get out of here in the next maybe 15 minutes. Oh, yes, I just ripped one. You mad? You love Doge. Ha, 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 ha. Pepe's a clear buy. Well, it went down, and it always goes back up, bro. Someone says, oh, you got to pay, okay? This ain't free. Hard work sucks. Strong man numbers go up. Yeah, why have a job when you could just buy a worthless piece of garbage coin and hope other clowns buy it? Ha 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 ha. Hood is an obvious sell. I mean, if more and more retail gets sucked into Hood and they're trading and trading and trading and trading, Hood can keep going up. But the second retail starts to lose money or we enter a recession, it's going to be exterminated. It's going to be annihilated, obliterated, cooked. And when that day comes, people will be laying on their stomachs for a long time. I am making the bread tonight. I'm cooking, baby. I got to make up for all the freaking money I spent on cheeks. Thoughts on Trump's Binance part and that? I'm not happy about all that stuff. The freaking crypto. I mean, I keep hearing that the reason they're all big on the crypto is because they want to use stable coins to, help create demand for U.S. treasuries. I hear that's their strategy. So if that's the grand strategy, I could see why they're being friendly to crypto. But part of me also thinks, a big part of me also thinks they're just doing it to enrich themselves. So to me, it's disgusting. Crypto clowns should be in prison for life. They are evil people. They are evil, disgusting people. They're criminals. They're scumbags. I don't trust crypto. I never will. It's all fraud. It's all a scam. It's all a lie. Okay? I don't care if you made money on it. I don't care. You're buying into a scam. And you will be laying on your stomach one day, and you'll probably just never comment on my channel again. Tell him, strong man. That's right, boy. I did. Market all-time highs. Gil's in. I might make a short for Gil. I was thinking about it, like an AI short. Gilly boy. Let me double check Venmo. Let me double check. I don't think I got anything else. But you never know. I don't want me to get freaking butt hurt. You didn't read my super chat. Ah! Then I have to make another freaking video to cover a $9 payment. Okay, no, nothing there. All right. Oh, there's Elemental. What's up, bro? How you doing? Go there for lunch, but stay away from the stock. Oh, I love Mexican food. I love it. I'm addicted. Can you analyze Spy 630 puts? What are you referring to, Andrew? I bought on Gil's advice and I'm down 50%. Guys, just stop shorting, please. Like, you don't need to do that, okay? I have bought a put before, and I got my cheeks clapped. I was right. I bought a put against TLT like a couple of years ago, and that baby collapsed. But guess what? I was too early. I also bought a put against AMC. I was right. Oh, but wait, I was too early, so I was actually wrong. Stop, okay? Look at IRBT's 8K today. It's hilarious. What is IRBT? Is that the Interactive Brokers? IRBT? iRobot? I might have to do like a separate video on that. Well, the stock sold off 33% today, so I imagine whatever it warns the search for a buyer has stalled. Okay, nobody wants to buy iRobot. They're cooked. Look at these losses. Good God. I mean, like I had a Roomba back in the day, but it kept getting caught. And I just vacuum my floor. And then I have kids and there's freaking toys everywhere. It doesn't work with kids, okay? When I had an apartment and I was by myself when I was younger, when I was a young buck, it was nice to have a Roomba. Like I'd come home and the floors would be immaculate, right? But now, there's so much crap so much kid crap everywhere. It'd be a disaster. I'd find the Roomba just like banging against the wall. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing's vacuumed. I just use a vacuum like a big boy. What's the amount for us Aussies? $6 Rudos. What is the exchange rate? What is 10 USD in Australian dollars? Is this correct? I don't know if I trust this. 1526. I guess. Why is it? It should just give it to me. Yeah, 1525. I'll give you a cent off, bro. There you go. Chipotle is white people's version of Mexican food. I mean, I used to live in Texas. Like, I've had good Mexican food. The reason I like Chipotle is because the amount of calories and scrumptiousness that I get is a good value for the price that I pay. I pay $10.16 for a big, fat chicken burrito. And then if I take my kids there, 2 kids' meals and a big, fat burrito. And the kids' meals are legit. They have quesadillas, beans, rice, and chips, and milk. I get 2 of those plus a burrito for like $20. That's not a bad deal to feed you and 2 kids. And then when I go to Chick-fil-A, it's like $25, but they have a playground. So I usually go to Chick-fil-A, let them run around with the other Rugrats, spy puts. Yeah, I haven't seen. Where is Gil? Where is Gil? I hope he's okay. If I had 5,000 to place in VT, do you lump sum or? I mean, if I had $5,000, would I lump sum or DCA? Based on my situation, I would just lump sum it. But it's really a personal question. Like you don't want to, if you're worried about a crash and you'll freak out, if you lump sum and the market goes down, that you could have a loss on those share lots for a long time. But if you have a huge net worth and you're just like, whatever, I'm not going to sell this for 30 years. I mean, me personally, I'd probably just throw it into VT and not care. Ugh. My ex from New Mexico, 1010 chef. Yeah, I wish my exes were good chefs. They were not. They were okay. They were okay. Some food was good, but I'm actually, I was actually the main. I knew how to. Actually, I can cook. I know how to cook. I don't really do it that much anymore. I don't have time, but I do. All right, I think we're about to close this out because I have to do a phone call at 8:00. But all right, let's see. Let's see the haul. Thank you for the donation. Hood. Talk about IQs, Dogecoin, Pepe Coin, surgery, and a Mexican restaurant. Very good haul, plus 2 Venmos. What a good day. We got a final super chat here. Rip Gill, bro's a doomer. All right, somebody's saying Chipotle and Chick-fil-A is unhealthy. You know what? Like, I eat it. I don't feel gross. Oh, yeah, Step says PayPal. Yep. Saw that, too. Yeah, I had a good haul today. Pretty good haul. I grifted well. You see, I made like, what, $80, and then YouTube's going to get a cut. Some grifter will go on there and lie, and they'll sell a course for like $10,000. You just got to grift, bro. But yeah, I know we like to make fun of Gil, but we hope he's okay. Okay. He's a very loyal member. Yep, I got it. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all the donations and the PayPal and the 2 Venmos. And I'm going to take a shower, do a phone call. Then I'm going to lay in my bed, turn on YouTube or maybe Rumble. And I'm going to play Axis and Allies. And then I'm going to go to bed. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe. Consider joining us as a member to support the channel. Consider liking my X accounts. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. You can like that as well. Also consider booking a free 30-minute tax consultation with me. I am a certified public accountant and would gladly do your business or personal taxes any state in the United States. You could talk to me for free. I give you upfront quotes, fixed upfront quotes, and I'll prepare your taxes like a boss. You can find that information to book a free consultation in the pinned comment below or the pinned comment on my freaking X account. Oh, fine. Okay, last super chat, and I really do have to go. Okay. Last one. If anybody else super chats, I have to close the stream. I'll do it later, but I will have to close the stream. So, Tempest AI, Nancy Pltr Insider. What is this? Tempest AI. AI, my hot guy. Tempest. All right, let me share my screen. Tempest AI, my hot guy. All right, market cap of 16 billion on trailing revenue of under $1 billion. Trailing loss of 19 million. No forward PE, not even projected to be profitable. Even the analysts say the price is going to drop. What do? It operates as a healthcare technology company. It engages in providing next-gen sequencing diagnostics. Okay, testing. Okay, so it provides like, I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but sounds like they use AI to help support healthcare. Let's look over here. This looks familiar. I feel like I've seen this before. Whoa. Oh, I think I have looked at this before. We are accelerating. Okay, so they have an AI chatbot. We are accelerating precision medicine with AI-enabled solutions. Yeah, this looks very familiar. Describe what you do. Who are your customers? Provide provide advanced genomic sequencing, clinical data structuring, and AI-driven insights to help healthcare providers, researchers, and life science organizations deliver more personalized and effective care for patients. Our customers include healthcare professionals, hospitals, medical centers. How fast have you grown customers each year? I do not have specific year-over-year customer growths available. 65% of all academic medical centers are connected. Over 50% of oncologists are connected to Tempus. 95% of the top 20 pharma oncology companies partner with Tempus. And they have more than 250 biopharma partnerships. Who are your main competitors? You suck. Don't even freaking tell me. Okay. I mean, we can go look at the financials. All right. My first question is, are they at least cash flow positive? Okay. So basically, they've been burning cash hand over fist since inception, but they had a couple quarters of positive cash flow. That could be like balance sheet timing adjustments. Unearned revenue. Yeah, let's go look at their unearned revenue. Man, yeah, people are plowing dollars into this baby. Look at this. People are throwing money at unearned revenues when you receive cash in advance before you actually deliver services. So if you see the unearned revenue account start to explode, and this is long-term unearned revenue. If you see that account start to explode, that means people are throwing money at it, and eventually they're going to earn it as long as it doesn't get canceled. And then current unearned revenue. Yeah. They're bringing in some business, I can tell you that. So if they keep it up, they're going to probably stay consistently cash flow positive. Yeah, they got almost $300 million of cash and short-term investments. $270 million of receivables. People are throwing money at it hand over fist. Probably not going to go bankrupt as long as they can keep it up. I'm curious about their competition, though. They have been packing on some serious long-term debt, though. And what are they buying with that? Property, plant, equipment. Okay, they made an acquisition, it looks like. Okay, so they packed on some debt to make an acquisition. What did they acquire? Let's see. What did Tempus AI acquire recently? They acquired Page, an AI company specializing in digital pathology. The acquisition includes Page's largest data set, nearly 7 million pathology slides. The acquisition is intended to grow Tempus's data set, expand its team, and strengthen its presence. Who are Tempus AI's primary competitors? What is their competitive edge? All right, it's marketing large established diagnostic companies. Its main competitive edge is just vast integrated data set of real-world clinical and molecular information. Okay, Guardant Health. It's in a patent dispute with Tempus. Illumina, a dominant force in DNA sequencing. They use Illumina's technology for its testing, but Illumina also competes by developing its own AI-powered analysis pipelines. Path AI, this company provides AI-powered solutions. Tempus directly competes with Path AI, especially following its acquisition of Page in 2025. These are large. Yeah, I'd be curious about their competition. I mean, like when it comes to revenue growth and unearned revenue and cash being thrown out of the business, they're doing fantastic. Like if they can keep this up, they're going to do extremely well. You know, so I wouldn't worry too much about the losses in the past. They probably can eventually turn that around. They're spending a lot of money on growth, basically. I mean, they have been taking some serious freaking losses though, and issuing a lot of shares. So, ouch. Pretty solid gross margins though, and they're narrowing their losses. I mean, it has potential. I'm not going to say it doesn't. I mean, you better prepare for a lot of volatility at least. What's the stock done? It's up 100%. I mean, this is a speculation. It might work out for you, but I've seen worse companies. Okay, the bullish things I've seen are massive revenue growth, and then you see that unearned revenue account really start to grow, and you see the narrowing of losses. They could do well, but I'd really understand their competition to see, if they aren't going to get usurped by somebody else. So interesting company there. I think I've looked at that before, but I don't have any massive negative feelings about it. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I think that's it. I got to make a phone call. All right. We'll do a couple more comments. My phone call's at 8. LOL. Been doing it for the past 5 years. Added to my SpyXU. What is that? SpyXU. Pro shares, ultra pro, short S&P. Yeah, genius. You're such a genius, bro. You're about to get flooded. Flooded by who? The Discord? Oh, I've learned to mute my Discord. I do have a free Discord if you want to join. It's completely free. I'm never going to monetize it again. I tried that. It didn't work well. We got some people joining. Stocks 93. But yeah, we do have a free Discord. We talk about a bunch of crazy insanity in there. There's multiple rooms. I post very spicy memes sometimes. So if you get offended easily, maybe you shouldn't come in the Discord. Or if you're a radical leftist lunatic, maybe you shouldn't come in. But Spy, why are you buying a short? Stop. Stop, people. All right, that's it. Like, subscribe, consider joining as a member, consider booking a free tax consultation, and you guys have a wonderful night. Cheers.